Between your sword style and that giant blade you shoulder, I wonder if you've got Rangetsu blood in you.
I do. What of it?
Have you heard the name Kushi-Yamada? I hear they're smiths with some connection to House Rangetsu.
Yeah, they're a distant relation, a clan of kitchen knife makers. Why, are you interested in cooking?
No. I just heard they were fine blades. Thought one would make a good gift.
Don't. Kushi-Yamada knives are cursed.
Hmm?
The blades themselves are excellent, but they give whoever holds one the urge to strike out at anyone and everyone. I've heard they use the blood of women they love in making their blades, but the truth is a mystery. The clan died out after they all turned on each other. The blades were all supposed to be melted down into slag.
I suppose that's why talk of them is hard to come by these days.
Such is the fate of House Rangetsu. Or maybe it's just in our blood.
Sounds like there's even more to your clan than the rumors say.
Better than there being less, I suppose. You're awfully fond of that, aren't you? Still, you should keep it in your bag for now.
I'll put it in my bag.
Good. You know, that's a nice bag. It looks made to last.
It's Moritz silk.
I've never heard of Moritz silk.
It's a fine fabric woven from the threads of the Dandarantula spider. It's got a delicate sheen, it's soft as a baby's skin, it's light and stretchable, it breathes, and it's quite durable. But that's not all. Its most fantastic quality is how it absorbs impact.
My, but you're quite the scholar.
Knowledge and experience help you sniff out the best treasure. If you go and stuff every single scrap of plunder you find into your ship, she'll keel over.
That does make sense.
What I'm getting at is, your bag is the best place for you to keep that compass stored.
Keep that thing safe. We need it. All right?
All right.
You said you heard about Ifrit on the prison island, right?
I heard an exorcist legate named Melchior took him away. I don't know anything beyond that.
Neither do I. What about you, Magilu?
Word is he was taken away about a year ago. Caused quite a stir, if I remember right. Everything about him was kept a tight secret. No one even knew what cell he was in.
Ifrit is an ordinary human, right?
Yeah. He doesn't have the abilities of an exorcist, and he isn't a demon either.
Weird. I mean, if they were just trying to bust up his gang, why capture him but leave the crew free?
If not his gang, what business does the Abbey have with him then?
We've cast our nets wide and can't come up with any explanation. We'll free him, though. His place is on the sea with us.
And you're convinced he's still alive?
They wouldn't have any problems killing a pirate who caused them trouble.
If the Abbey took him alive and for questioning, it means he has something they really want.
But he isn't the type to change his ways or bend his knee on anyone's orders.
He holds his own tiller.
Precisely.
Why did you come back to us?
I could tell you all missed me something awful.
We didn't. At all.
And what about your search for this traitor?
He slipped away yet again. I've no clue where he ran off to.
You're a witch. Can't you use a spell or something?
My spellcraft works kind of like a three-legged race. It simply requires my backstabbing, slippery accomplice.
Like a con artist needs an accomplice.
I am not a con artist.
I'm not going to help you find your traitor, you know.
How cold! Such an icy stare could freeze fire!
And you don't have anyone else?
Well, no.
Do you have a home to return to?
Nope.
Do you know a trade other than magic?
Nope.
What is it, Laphicet?
Magilu's story made my chest feel funny. And my nose is runny.
The witch has no friends, no home, and no purpose. I think what you're feeling is pity.
Pity?
It's when you feel sorrow for someone else.
I pity Magilu.
Oh, come on!
Wow. Those walls. They're so huge.
That's Logris, the capital of the Empire. They keep demons out by enclosing the city within a great wall.
Humanity has achieved great things on the backs of slave Malakim.
Why the surprise, Laphicet? You've been here before, right?
I have. But back then, I was not who I am now.
I see. Tethered Malakim aren't even allowed the freedom to observe their surroundings.
We'll soon lose such freedom ourselves.
Huh?
We've reached the heart of the Empire, and of the Abbey. Soldiers and exorcists are stationed all around. This is no place for a collection of villains like us.
I'm not looking for a place. All I need to find is Artorias. That's it.
A kind face for such a hard woman.
She knew about me and our cover. She's got ears everywhere.
And that's not all. She called the papers fake, but they're not.
So she's got spies working on the inside, too.
I heard that her predecessor, Baskerville, was a monument against authority. But to think he was executed.
They've lost their leader, but remain unconquered. Not an organization to trifle with.
That's how they have to be to take on the Abbey. We'd better succeed on our missions, and not just to get the information we need.
Yeah. Besides, I'd like to get another of those drinks, too.
You're a man of taste. That place always has the best.
You'd better work hard too, if you want more Mabo curry.
I will.
Hey, Laphicet.
What is it, Rokuro?
Mabo curry.
Huh?
You're an interesting one. You like Mabo curry that much, huh?
It smells good. And it's creamy and kind of spicy. Eating it made me feel nice.
I'd say you love it then. Do all Malakim have such an appetite?
Each has their own tastes. Some eat a lot, some eat a little. Just like humans or demons.
What do you like, Aizen?
Drinks, I suppose.
What else?
Pretty much just drinks.
Don't you like anything else?
Is it a problem if I don't?
No. I'm just wondering.
For me, it's drinks and candied sweet potatoes.
That's where you boil strips of sweet potato in oil and then coat them in sugar, right?
Yeah, I never get tired of them.
So you like to drink, but you've also got a sweet tooth?
Yeah. Is that so strange?
No.
Candied sweet potatoes. Sounds good.
There's nothing to be ashamed of. It's just a sign that you're alive, remember?
Right.
Well, we've learned one thing coming to the capital. The Abbey and Shepherd Artorias have expanded their power immensely.
They might as well be the Empire now. They have the undying support of the populace.
The Shepherd, savior of humanity.
I wonder what he meant by the blessings of the Empyrean Enominat.
That's what they call the gods they worship in church, right? The Empyreans? He promised a lot in that speech. But can he really command such a power?
I have no idea. Not even we Malakim know of them beyond the stories and legends. He called Enominat the Fifth Empyrean. There should only be four, one ruling each element.
Is he talking about a new Empyrean?
Have you heard anything, Laphicet?
Sorry. I don't know anything about this.
It doesn't matter. We should be careful about taking his words at face value. The man is no saint. He'll stop at nothing to achieve his aims. But there's no way he could have a god at his beck and call.
Don't underestimate the Abbey.
Trust me, I'm not. That's why I'm using the Shadow Guild to help us hunt them down. And to make sure that I kill him.
What's the deal with you and that exorcist Eleanor?
She had tears in her eyes when we first saw her at Northgand. Velvet poked fun at her, calling her the crybaby exorcist.
Why would an exorcist cry?
Sacrificing the individual for the good of the many is part of Artorias' philosophy. She seemed troubled by that. She's naive.
That she can still carry on shows just how strong she is. It looks like they don't hand out the rank of Praetor to just anyone. Just stay sharp around her. That's all.
By the way, is that Bienfu character that Magilou was after really a Malak?
He may look strange, but yes, he's still a Malak.
That means Magilou is an exorcist. Why does she call herself a witch then?
If she got locked up in that prison, she must have been kicked out of the Abbey.
Or she could be a fraud.
Yeah. Even if she wasn't an exorcist, she could still perform some tricks with a Moloch like that.
I will protect you, Madam Eleanor. Face me now, demon.
Right? Was that laughter?
I'm sorry.
Why apologize? Bien Phu is funny, right?
Right.
Then if you want to laugh, laugh.
If you think that's funny, you should give it a try for yourself. Say,
Hi, I'm Laffyset.
All right. Hi, I'm Laffyset.
Knock it off!
Huh?
what's the problem?
People are staring. Don't attract attention.
I'm sorry.
She's so uptight. Let's try it together later, Laffyset.
All right. If nectar made from vermilion ore is so bad for your health that it was banned, why are they making it?
They make it because it was banned.
Huh?
Just because the powers that be say a rule is for the greater good, it doesn't mean that everyone will see eye to eye with them. If Tabitha's Mabo curry was outlawed, would you really be able to never eat it again?
I wouldn't like it, but if it's against the rules...
Well, you'll get hungry no matter what. People want what they want.
But anything forbidden is bound to be rare. And when things are rare, they become expensive.
So that's why people make it.
The world isn't a simple place. There's an underside to everything.
An underside?
Contract killers, secret weapons dealers, loan sharks that charge outrageous interest, pirates like me, the folks who offered us mooring for information, and the Gilded Hellevies are all part of it.
As are the people who dye chicks blue to sell them at a higher price. And the people who bet on alleyway bug fights. And they'll come to you with a smile, so you can't let your guard down if you want to stay safe.
What sorts of bugs do they make fight?
That's the part that got your attention? By the way, those folks we just passed were talking about us.
What were they saying?
They were warning each other to be careful, talking about the demons that burned down Hellevies and destroyed the Seagate Fortress being near the capital.
Considering how bold we've been, everyone's still fairly calm about it.
We'll be famous soon enough once we kill the world's savior.
Sounds like that could get fun.
Fun? Why?
The people trying to capture us will put prices on our heads and put up wanted posters everywhere. Depending on who draws the likenesses, each portrait can look completely different. You know what I'm talking about, right, Eisen?
Aye. I've seen dozens of pictures of myself. Some make me a monster, others make me a handsome youth. It's fascinating, really.
I hope I get a poster soon.
Then do your best to really stir things up.
Right. I'll stir everything up good.
What's the matter? You're gloomier than usual.
Am I actually useful?
Huh?
You can cut down any enemy, and Eisen can beat them up. Velvet is strong and can eat anything. But I'm not good at fighting, and apparently I'm always gloomy.
Is that what's bothering you?
In a fight, offense alone isn't everything. Hurting your foes means nothing if you don't live to tell the tale afterwards. Your healing arts are what let us always fight at our best.
He's right. Compared to dead weight like Magilu, you're plenty helpful out there.
Only compared to Magilu?
I didn't mean it like that. I was just saying she never helped at all.
You're not going to grow overnight. Be patient. You've only just been set free. That you've even managed to keep up with us this far is a feat in and of itself. Strength comes by continually improving your mind and body. Keep your spirits up and keep working at it, and you'll get there before you know it.
I will?
The drive to improve is what's important.
Right. The Bloodwings are a serious organization. I'm impressed that they know about this entrance.
And they have agents on the inside to facilitate this little operation, too.
They must have branches working all over the Empire. They've probably even figured out how to get cats and dogs working for them.
Here's a juicy morsel about them. They make sure even their corpses go to good use.
They what?
Long ago, one of their agents stole into the castle. When the guards discovered him, they chased him to this very passage. He dove into the water to escape, and then... crunch! Ah! A crocodile devoured him in one massive bite. All that remained was his arm, bobbing to the surface. From this, 2 important facts were learned.
What were they?
First, they learned of the existence of this passage. Second, they could serve crocodile meat in town. Crocodile meat rubbed with human blood becomes tender and succulent, perfect for mabo curry.
Then I ate...
If it's so tasty, I'll have to try it. Rubbed with the blood of a lying witch.
That would hit the spot, I think.
And it wouldn't even affect our combat strength.
Hey, the kid's a wreck. It was just a joke to help calm him down.
It was a joke?
Yeah, I totally made up that part about the crocodile. Mabo curry is actually made from man-eating catfish who...
Let's keep moving.
Right.
I'll get you for this, witch killers! They're supposed to be protecting the people from demons, but there are demons right under their noses.
Abbey's security is certainly lacking here. The whole point of building those massive walls around the city is to keep people safe inside.
But if there's a demon outbreak on the inside, those same walls will make it harder for everyone to escape.
The palace covers a lot of ground, so there are tons of hiding places. It wouldn't be hard for a demon to slip in through the waterway.
I'm sure the Abbey is aware of that. Perhaps it's a trap made to lure intruders in.
What? They lure demons in and then ignore them? Something doesn't add up.
I know, right? Why so glum, Velvet? The thought of killing a man weighing heavy even on your own damaged conscience.
Not especially. But I wonder how you remain so flippant about it.
Hey, I'm not here to murder anyone. I'm just tagging along in search of my traitor.
Do we have to kill him? Can't we just make him stop this nectar business?
I don't think he'd listen to us.
Huh?
Word in the taverns is that this high priest is a real shady character. The Abbey and their religion are popular now, but 3 years ago, no one had heard of them. High Priest Gideon was the one who led the church through those dark days.
But once Malachim became visible to the general public, and they learned how effective Moloch arts were against demons, that all changed.
Humans are such fools, only believing what they can see with their own eyes.
And once the church had attained popular support, a nasty power struggle swept through the ranks. Many vied for the mantle of High Priest. Charlatans, power-hungry converts, but they all faded away.
They left the church?
No, they all met their maker. Some from disease, others from accidents. And in the end, Gideon became High Priest.
He may be the head of the church, but the people clamor for Shepherd Artorius. That's gotta sting.
Either way, if we're to face him, he might have some tricks up his sleeve. We'll need to keep our eyes open.
It doesn't matter who he is. We just do our job.
Feeling nervous, Laphicet?
A bit.
I can teach you a spell that will help.
Like that eeny-teeny spiny crow thing?
No, that was divination to draw back the Veil of Fate. This spell is a bit of magic that will improve your fortune. Here is what you must chant. Magicazam! See? It totally works.
I'm not sure. What did the spell do?
It's a pointless charm to dispel a pointless worry.
If it's pointless, why even perform it?
Because humans are creatures that find themselves burdened unknowingly by pointless things. In any case, chant after me. Are you ready?
All right.
Magicazam!
Magicazam.
I can't hear you! Try again! Magicazam!
Magicazam.
Once again, with feeling! Magicazamazam!
Magicazamazam.
Again!
Magicazamazam.
Is that all you've got?
Magicazamazam.
Shh, keep it down. We're trying to sneak in, remember?
What?
Just an old gag.
Shut up!
Ow, what was that for? I was only easing the boy's nerves.
We have more important things to worry about.
Demons and Malachim are such stiffs.
Magikazam.
Huh?
Did that help?
And now the boy consoles me. Well, that was pointless.
Hello again! I'm Bienfu, a Moloch. Nice to meet you all. Just so you know, I'm a greater Moloch. You're a greater Moloch too, Laphicet. I'm sure we'll get along great.
I'm classified as a greater Moloch?
That should be no surprise. You've got a lot of power, despite your appearance. You're a greater Moloch too, aren't you, Aizen?
So I've been told, but I can't say I care for measures made by folks who tether my kind.
I didn't know that's what it was.
I'm sorry.
No, don't worry about it. Just promise me you won't judge your own value from a label given to you by others.
I won't. I promise.
What if that's all that gives me self-worth?
They're pirates and demons. Pay them no heed. To me, you are the greatest of all.
The greatest? Do you really mean it? Oh, Miss Magilu, you're so kind! You've changed so much since I left.
But you haven't changed at all. You are eternally my greatest servant.
Oh, I don't want to be the greatest then! Oh, this is bad.
And our roster of the oblivious grows longer.
Our fighter doesn't seem to be hiding anywhere nearby.
I sensed him rush away with great speed.
Zavid the Whirlwind, huh?
He was tough. He seemed to know Ifrid too. What's the story there?
I don't know. Ask him.
He used a pendulum as a weapon.
When we first met Aizen, he said something about a pendulum, didn't he?
It was the only clue he had in his search for Ifrid. I'm surprised at how far he's come on something so vague.
Does Zavid have something to do with Ifrid's disappearance?
I don't think this Zavid is a killer. I didn't feel it in him at all.
I have a feeling we might cross paths again. He is tangled with the Abbey somehow.
He didn't seem that bad to me.
Yeah, he seems like a guy who would be hard to hate.
Hate him or not, if he gets in our way, he's in for a beating.
Now that's what a killer looks like. Miss Magilu, does that demon Velvet really mean to kill Shepherd Artorias? What is she thinking?
I can't say. Perhaps she's not thinking at all.
No, she said something about him killing someone.
She said it during his speech, right?
I heard her too. She has some feud with Artorias.
Her hate for him flows deep. I wonder what her connection to Lord Artorias is.
Don't call him Lord. Trust me.
What?
You'll understand when the time comes. If she's still alive to face Artorias, that is.
Precisely. The fires of her hatred are all-consuming. Who will they burn in the end?
It's a dangerous path we walk, but a debt is a debt. Come along, Laphicet.
Okay.
This looks like some kind of ruin. Where are we?
Judging from the style of the walls and columns, I'd say this place is an ancient underground temple of Eumacia.
Eumacia, the Empyrean of Earth.
So it was by no coincidence that the Earth Pulse led us here.
How did the temple builders know where to dig to connect to an Earth Pulse? Did they just get lucky? Just wham, there it is?
An Earth Pulse doesn't work that way. It's a flow of natural force ordinary humans can't sense. But in those days, there were more humans capable of sensing that which others couldn't. It was people like that who guided the rest to build their temples closer to the Earth Pulses, closer to their gods.
Uh-huh.
So, since Empyreans control the forces of nature, people viewed the Earth Pulses as embodiments of the gods themselves. Is that it?
Right. In the time when Empyrean worship was at its peak, temples like this were built all over.
And I'm guessing they all looked pretty similar, so until we go outside, we're no closer to knowing where we are.
That sums it up.
I wonder if they found any high-quality ore when they dug this hole. You know, for making swords.
I don't know why I bother explaining anything to you.
You know, I'm starting to think you just enjoy it.
Can you read any of this old writing?
No. I've studied many languages, but I've never seen script like this before. Can you read it, Eleanor?
I've never come across this language either. Where did you find a rare tome like this?
Well...
It was a lucky find at the capital. What can I say? The kid loves to read.
I was surprised to see how many Malakim like to read. Bienfu does a lot of reading too.
I didn't know that.
It's true. I'm not sure what he's been reading though.
Did someone call for me?
Bienfu, do you like to read too?
Oh, yes. Books are a treasure trove of knowledge. But I'm a greater Malakim, so the literature I enjoy might be a bit above your level, Laphicet.
How to talk a human female into becoming your vessel. And physically escalating with cuties.
Bien?
Physically escalating. What does that mean?
You
don't
really
need to
don't
know.
need to know.
All right.
Yeah, I'm confiscating all of these.
And I have some questions. Bienfu, you better be ready for a thorough interrogation.
Bien!
What is it, Laphicet?
I was told that women's looks can be deceiving, but I'm not sure what I'm supposed to see.
That's an age-old problem for men. You with me, Eisen?
Aye. Women are fickle creatures at best. They lie as easily as they breathe, and men can never see through their deceptions.
I totally feel you.
Sounds like you've both been through hard times.
The wounds women leave on a man's heart take longer to heal than a cut delivered by a sword.
It's that bad?
Beware a maiden's tears, boy, and guard yourself well. That's my advice to you.
Beware tears and guard myself.
Don't put any weird ideas into Laphicet's head, you two.
They're just facts.
If you fill his head with any more garbage, I'm eating both of you.
Yes, ma'am. Yikes.
The swordsman and the pirate having troubles with women? Ha! Well, women are nothing if not difficult. I've the deepest sympathy for you both.
What do you think of the ladies' reactions?
Well, Velvet won't eat either of you, and Magilu didn't seem sympathetic at all.
See? Appearances can be deceiving.
And it seems you've absorbed the lesson well.
Right.
I'm not like that, though.
Huh?
Yes, some women use their tears to manipulate others, but not all do, and I, for one, despise such duplicity. The women who did that to Eisen and Rokuro are just the extreme.
Yeah, I can see how much you hate dishonesty, Eleanor.
Huh? Yeah, that's right.
Be a good example for the boy, then, so he doesn't end up like Rokuro and me.
I intend to do just that, whether or not you ask it of me.
Eleanor is a lot stronger than she appears.
What's eating you, Laphicet?
If people say you can't judge women at face value, does that mean you can with men?
Sure. Men are simple creatures.
Men are simple.
Oh, you talk like you're an expert in all things masculine. But you can only speak for your own family.
As if you're one to judge.
And I'm sure you've charmed a magnificent lord to be your lover.
Sure.
What does he look like? Is he tall?
None of your business.
Don't tell me. He was always on the other side of a swinging door, so you only saw his feet? I see. What a lovely crush that must be.
I read that story. It was a book called The Legs of a Man.
Oh? I've never heard of it.
I've read it too. It's a sad, bittersweet tale, but I enjoyed it quite a lot. I highly recommend it if you haven't read it.
Maybe when I have some free time after killing Artorias.
I just wanted to know if men could be judged at face value. You look like you're having fun, Rokuro.
Well, I'm a yaksha.
A yaksha. A spirit of war.
Yeah, a demon that lives for combat.
But this sword breaker has cut down exorcists with its foreign blade. Aren't you scared?
Of dying, you mean?
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of dying. It's more that I'm afraid of not being alive.
Huh?
Fighting is my life. It's all I want to do. So I fight. That's what living means to me.
Living only to kill. A demon is always going to be a demon.
Well, if you're gonna be blunt.
Listen, Laphicet.
What is it?
You can't trust her just because she said she'd protect you, orders or no orders. Remember, Malakim are just tools to exorcists.
But she really did protect me.
I know you feel you owe her for that, but do you have to look so happy about it?
Sorry.
I'm not asking for an apology. I just want her to know that we've all got an eye on her. No matter how close you two get, I want her to understand that I come first.
So, what do you want me to do?
Let's see. To put it simply, I'm number 1, and Eleanor is number 2. Got it?
I get it. You're number 1, and Eleanor is number 2.
Right. I'm number 1. Wait, this is kind of stupid, isn't it?
It's all right. I understand.
That's not what I mean. What was that fat cat creature with Shigure?
You mean Morgrim? She's a Moloch. She just looks different.
And?
And what? She has all the abilities of a Moloch. I'm not trying to keep anything from you. All I know is her name and that she's a Moloch.
Huh.
Lord Shigure is an exorcist legate, but he's also a warrior who can match exorcists or demons even without the use of Moloch arts. Since no one has ever seen Shigure use an art, Morgrim is considered one of the 7 wonders of the Abbey.
The 7 wonders of the Abbey.
No one knows Morgrim's capabilities, or even the details of Shigure's pact with her.
No one! Except me, that is!
Huh?
This is all highly classified, but Morgrim is incredibly lazy. The price she demanded of Shigure for making a pact with her was grooming and defleeing.
Anything else?
Oh, and on a point of sensitivity, she's chubby, not fat. She may be our enemy, but she's also a woman. You should try not to hurt each other's feelings.
Anything else?
Her thick eyebrows are all the rage with Malakim, so much so that false eyebrows are expected to be the next big thing.
Well, if he's that strong without Moloch arts, I don't want to see what he's like with them.
You and Shigure both use the Rangetsu style. But to me it looked like you both fight completely differently. Why is that?
Our school encompasses 2 distinct forms. To the outside world, we're known for fighting with a single greatsword. But we also study dual short swords should need arise.
So, Shigure uses the greatsword, and you use the short.
In most schools, wouldn't the secondary technique be used primarily in support of the first?
That's true for us as well. We learn the dual short swords to provide sparring partners for those studying the greatsword.
Then why would you handicap yourself against Lord Shigure? He's no mere swordsman.
As I'm painfully aware, Shigure is a true master. We trained together since we were small children. I was his sparring partner for 10 years. His skill with the greatsword is godlike. So, in order to beat him, I took up the short blades. To our school, it might be secondary, but it's what I know best.
You're badly disadvantaged in reach.
If I eliminate my fear, I have a chance. If I can control the terror of being split in half and I can step inside his guard, he'll have 2 times the trouble.
Eliminating fear, huh? A style for someone who's lost his humanity.
Right?
It's like you 2 brothers are the very swords you carry.
Huh?
Stormhowl, a godlike sword known to all as the strongest there ever was. Stormquell, burdened by the ceaseless struggle to best the other. One, an exorcist who walks in the light. One, a demon moving through the shadows. The only thing these 2 polar opposites want
Is to cut down the other.
Precisely!
Both are renowned blades. But I don't see what exorcists and demons have to do with it.
Eleanor, are you feeling all right?
Yes, for now at least.
I'm glad for that. But please remember, the Reaper's curse is no joke.
Is Aizen's curse even real? I'm having trouble believing in it.
You never know. Talk like that might give you a stomachache, or a blister, or a bug might fly into your mouth.
A bug?
Miss Moggy-Lou, please stop making up things just to scare Madame Eleanor. Like when you said that 4 Navy warships tried to detain the Von Eltia and disappeared without a trace? Or that Aizen made a stopover on an island and the men there caught demon blight? Or that a man bumped into his shoulder and started laughing and died from suffocation?
Please stop. That's even more frightening.
That's a pack of lies. It was 7 warships. Everyone on the island, not just men, caught demon blight. And the guy who bumped into me died from hiccups.
Hold me.
But as far as the Corsair's scourge goes, you don't need to worry. Just drink the Salatoma juice and you'll be fine.
Assuming they're in bloom.
Yeah, there is that.
I have a bad feeling about this. The Reaper's curse. The Abbey needs to know about this. I'll have to investigate further. A coin that always comes up tails. Can a Moloch's influence extend so far?
I see you're a woman of deep skepticism.
I know it's hard to believe, but Aizen's coin really does only come up tails.
Wait a minute. Are you using some sort of trick on it, Moggy-Lou?
Oh, your gaze falls on me then?
Well, I am a woman of deep skepticism.
And one who holds grudges too, apparently. But no, I don't have anything to do with it. In fact, I tried a little spell to make it come up heads, and it wouldn't take hold.
The coin's not gimmicked. There's no trick. See for yourself if you like.
This is the Demon Lord Daos.
Good eye. It's from Carl.
It's from Carlin! I've never seen an authentic specimen. It's incredibly ancient, and yet it looks freshly minted.
There's a reason for that. Gold is normally soft, but they found a way to hard.
I know! They cover the surface of a softer metal with a heat-reactive shape memory alloy. That's what makes it hard to scratch.
Right.
It's a technique no one alive can duplicate, and it makes any trickery impossible. I might just have to believe in this curse of yours after all.
I thought you said they had made the surface itself harder, not covered it with something else.
I think you're mistaken.
No, I swear you said...
Let's just leave it at that.
Okay.
Shape memory alloy. That's how they did it.
By the way, do you know what Salatoma means in the language of flowers?
Was it deceitful coexistence?
What's with that? Even its symbolism is awful.
Deceitful coexistence.
The perfect flower for us.
What's wrong, Laphicet?
Moggy-Lou is right, isn't she?
Could be. Eleanor is from the Abbey. I'm not sure that someone like that would ever genuinely want to make friends with us.
That's what I thought.
But it's not all quarrels between us. There's commonalities, I guess you could call it. We share common ground.
Deceitful coexistence doesn't trouble me at all. I'll always be here for you, Madame Eleanor. You and I shared an eternal vow that binds us together.
All I did was make a pact to tether you. I'd appreciate it if you didn't talk about it in a way that could create the wrong impression.
Madame Eleanor, you're so cold.
Try your eyes, Bienfu. You still have me, don't you?
Oh, Miss Moggy-Lou, you're the only one for me, honest.
Good, good. Now think hard on my kindness and do as you're told.
Yes, ma'am. I'll just have to hang in there until I find a new love.
Laphicet, think about deceitful coexistence this way.
Demon, exorcist, Moloch, pirate, witch. We're never going to be a single cohesive unit. But each of us understands where the others are coming from in a way that's very real.
So it's not really a deception.
Yeah, not really. I think selfish coexistence might make the better fit.
Maybe so. bug. It looks pretty tough.
Yeah, I've been around a long time, but I've never seen anything like it.
It must be a new species.
Incredible!
A new species is usually named after the person who discovered it. The Laphicet rhinoceros beetle, then?
Rhinoceros beetle? Whoa now, that's a stag beetle if I ever saw one.
No. Those things may look like pincers, but they're actually horns. A three-horned beetle will cause quite a stir in the bug community.
Hey, I know pincers when I see them, and those were some mighty pincers. The Laphicet stag beetle has a better ring to it, right?
What part of that sounds better?
The whole thing. Stag beetles are the strongest after all.
I can't let that go unchallenged. The rhinoceros is the king of beetledom.
Beetledom? More like beetledum.
That doesn't help your case at all.
Rokuro, Aizen.
I feel a dangerous storm brewing.
The rhino is a one-trick pony with its horn, but a stag can cut its opponents in half. Its weapons can be used in any situation. The stag is a true swordsman.
That's petty trickery. The only beetle with the raw muscle to decide its own fate is the rhino.
But they only live for a year. The stag can survive through the winter.
They live hard and die young. Is the beauty of such a life lost on you?
Why is it that boys get so excited when they talk about bugs?
Rhinoceros, stag, or butterfly. It's all no matter to me.
They all look like cockroaches.
They're totally different!
So, what will you name it?
I think Rhinostagros for now. Salatoma flowers smell so sweet, like raspberries.
Let me smell. Oh, they smell tasty.
Do they really taste that bad?
They lure you in with their scent, but once that flower hits your tongue, its flavor transforms into something dreadful.
Dreadful like how?
The petals melt into a liquid thousands of times stronger than mint, and the leaves and stem taste richer than the richest beef tongue. The two flavors clash and fizz on your tongue, and your whole body is racked with choking pain.
What?
Seriously?
That's what Ifrit told me anyway.
It's actually true. That's exactly what it's like.
You've tasted it before, haven't you? Is there any way around it?
You can squeeze it, boil it, mix it with honey, but nothing gets rid of the taste. Trying to mix it or sweeten it makes it even harder for some to swallow.
Have you taken yours?
No, I'll do it once I'm back on the ship with the pirates.
Wait, are you the type that puts off unpleasant tasks?
Not at all. I simply cannot be the first to drink it when others are still waiting for us to deliver their doses.
You do know that you'll have to drink double the dose after you start displaying the symptoms, right?
Are you certain?
Quit being so stubborn. It'd be better if you just got it over with.
And you've taken your dose?
No, I don't need to. Having a tethered Moloch drink it is enough to absorb its effects.
But to a Moloch, it tastes...
Yes, the cuter you are, the worse it tastes. It's good to be an exorcist, eh, Eleanor?
Do I have to drink it?
Of course not. I'll suffer through my own dose of Salatoma.
Oh, pooh. How dull.
Whew.
Salatoma is as awful as I remember. I'd hoped I'd never have to drink it again.
Are you all right, Eleanor?
Is this your second experience with the Corsair Scourge?
No, I had it for a different reason. In the Abbey, it's tradition for initiates to drink Salatoma as part of their welcoming festivities.
Sounds like hazing to me.
When everyone shares the same experience, drinking something so shockingly revolting, our bonds are strengthened. It's a good thing.
If you say so.
I really did believe I'd never have to taste it again. To be blunt, I hate it.
You're lucky you think it tastes so terrible. That means you also know what tastes good. Right, Velvet?
What does that mean?
Velvet can't taste anything aside from blood.
What? Is that because she's a demon?
I'm aware of one other flavor. Mogulu, here's your dose of Salatoma.
No!
Get back here!
Don't! Keep that salad away from
see. The sweet taste of another suffering. Why does it seem like everyone around me is completely mad?
Yeah! Continuing to fight when you know you'll lose just is insane!
Would you stand around and watch your comrade die just because you're scared?
I wouldn't want to, but getting myself killed wouldn't save anyone either.
Yes, it would be illogical to fight.
Is being illogical really that bad?
Well,
At the Empyrean's throne, I remember Velvet standing, despite the horrible pain she felt. Rokuro is training with all his heart in order to defeat his brother Shigure. And Kurogane used up his own head to forge a powerful blade.
none of that is very logical.
Yeah, I don't know quite how to put it, but I think it's all amazing.
Aren't you forgetting someone?
Magilu is traveling with us, even though she doesn't care. And that...
Yes, go on.
I don't really understand what that's about.
Miss Magilu, hang in there!
Well, it is amazing in some sense, I suppose.
Loringen Tower's a training ground for exorcists, right?
Yes, it's a great edifice built on ancient ruins.
Laphicet, did you ever go there when you were tethered to Teresa?
I don't really remember the beginning of my service to Teresa.
I see.
What sort of training do they do there?
Exorcists are tested and assigned Malachim equivalent to their aptitude with mana. It's also where they practice Malach arts and study our laws.
So the lower ranks use it as a sparring ground in order to train up to the higher ranks?
No, an exorcist's affinity to mana is not something that strengthens through training. We are given Malachim based on our inborn ability, then learn arts to suit that ability.
So, an orderly is an orderly for life, then?
Correct.
There'd be no spirit of competition then. Don't they want to get stronger, to advance through the ranks?
There'd be no purpose to advancement. Rank signifies nothing more than the type and number of Malachim one can tether. People join the Abbey for only two reasons: to protect people from demons, and to save the world.
Are all of you that dedicated to asceticism?
How sickeningly noble of you.
I wonder if your wills are suppressed just like those of the Malachim you use.
Deviants like you could never possibly understand our motives. In any case, that is who awaits you at Loringen Tower.
So we're in for a rough welcome. I say bring it on. I can't wrap my head around Zavid.
We witnessed his unwillingness to kill before, but it seems he's quite serious about it.
Maybe that's why I don't feel scared of him. Even when he and Aizen were about to fight, I didn't feel tense at all.
Perhaps that's just because you've been around Velvet a bit too long, kiddo. Next to her, few people are frightening.
Do you think so?
Don't ask me.
He doesn't come across as vicious. I think that's why you're not scared.
Because he's just a brawler?
Maybe he's just naive.
Okay, so he's just a naive brawler. He's still involved with Eifried's disappearance, and he's also taking on the Abbey. I just don't get him.
Me neither.
Uh-huh.
I agree, but I don't understand any of you either.
Aizen, can I ask you about that thing Zavid had?
It belonged to Eifried, didn't it? I've read much of the Abbey's archives on weaponry, but I've never seen anything like it.
He found it when we crossed to the far continent. It's a relic from a long-vanished civilization. He's like me and can't resist a good treasure. But of everything we've found, that one was his most prized.
What is it?
I can't say. It seemed like a weapon, but Eifried wouldn't let anyone touch it. He went off and tested it on his own, then came back all grinning, saying he had an ace up his sleeve the next time we got into a fight.
Then it's definitely some sort of ancient combat device? But why is Zavid looking for Eifried? To apologize for stealing it?
He doesn't seem like that much of a gentleman.
Did he really steal it?
What do you mean?
It's just my feeling, but Zavid doesn't seem like the type of Malak to steal something so precious.
He said he just picked it up. Perhaps he's trying to return it.
Perhaps.
Aizen, when and how did Ifri disappear exactly? And how did you two meet in the first place?
You know, you ask an awful lot of questions about us.
What? I don't mean to pry, really. Perhaps it's a habit I picked up from my work. Drat. It seems I've been digging too hard.
No matter. Ifried vanished about a year ago. He agreed to fight a duel against someone, and secretly left to meet his opponent. Once we figured out what was happening, we rushed to the scene. But all we found was the aftermath of a fight, and a pendulum.
Was Zavid his opponent?
Given his choice of weapon and his ability to fight, I'd say it's likely.
What I don't get is why Ifried would end up captured and imprisoned by the Abbey after a fight with a stray Moloch.
The Abbey had him prisoner?
On their island. Until an exorcist named Melchior took him away, that is.
What? Lord Melchior did?
The Abbey would have captured Ifried about a year ago. Surely it must have caused quite a stir.
I was simply patrolling. I wasn't involved in any such operations. Oh, but I do remember that we suffered a great number of casualties around that time. I never heard why, and when I went to investigate, I found no records of any major deployment. And then I was ordered to cease any such investigation by Lord Melchior.
That's fishy.
He wanted to hide something, clearly. And I think I'm starting to get a picture of what it was.
And it involves the Abbey?
Well, that was sure something. Melchior and his illusions are cheats.
There's no cheating in combat.
What I meant is that they were awfully dirty tricks for an upstanding exorcist.
And the illusions seemed so real. Had that gone on any longer, I wouldn't have been able to tell what was real and what was fake.
If it can't be distinguished from reality, perhaps one could live a happier life within the illusion.
That sort of happiness can rot.
You think so?
But by using illusions, you can defeat an opponent without causing them any physical harm.
Oh, how humane. Wow, the Abbey is so great.
Lord Melchior is an exemplary man who has served Lord Artorias since before the Abbey's founding. He's done everything from logistical planning to defense strategy and even political negotiations. He shows the utmost concern, even for his opponents, so...
He turned a friendly Moloch into a dragon.
That was...
Physical wounds can heal. Emotional wounds never fully fade.
Yeah, but...
Don't lose heart, Eleanor. Foul play is foul play, but you're talking to a demon and a witch. Who can judge?
I appreciate that you're trying to console me, but as an exorcist, I cannot accept this. Laffy said, may I ask you something?
What is it?
The girl with the umbrella from Lord Melchior's illusion. What is her connection to Aizen? I don't think he'd answer if I asked him myself.
I don't know. I was wondering about her as well. She was pretty, wasn't she?
Oh, so you like a girl who's cute, but with a bit of sophistication.
Really? I thought his type was more like
Shh.
What's going on?
We were discussing a delicate topic. Laffysette's first crush, if you must know.
Oh,
No, we weren't. We were just talking about the umbrella girl from the illusion.
the umbrella girl. That illusion made Aizen hesitate. She must be really important to him.
Indeed. It must be a deep, naughty relationship.
Come on now.
Like a wife he wants to leave, but he can never let go. Or a lover from whom he can't move on.
No, that's too wild, and she's too young.
Yeah, it's not that. What's more likely for a self-serving pirate is a daughter from a woman who only knows him by a fake name, perhaps one whom he cast aside, or who cast him aside!
And maybe she was somebody he couldn't marry for some reason. But when she died, he raised her daughter for her.
He had been friends with her since they were children, but they only realized their true feelings after they had been married to someone else.
Is this their idea of romance? In any case, beware of girls, Laffy said.
Right.
So what's it really like?
Huh?
The connection between Moloch and Vessel. Do you share, like, thoughts and feelings?
Sort of. When I'm dwelling inside Eleanor, I can see what she sees and hear what she hears. But I can't read her thoughts or her emotions. Sitting in a box doesn't teach you how the box feels.
I see. In that case, I want to give her as little time alone as possible.
I don't want to bathe with her, alright?
I know. You're a boy and all. For her baths, we can send Bienfu. No, that's a bad idea. It'll have to be Magilou, or myself.
Phew.
What sort of boundaries have you and Eleanor drawn? How do you sleep?
We talk before bed sometimes. But it's not like I'm sleeping by her side or anything. It's easier for me to tell when she wakes up if I'm dwelling inside her.
Does she ever get out of bed at night?
Not in my experience. And she sleeps so peacefully.
Huh?
When she's around you guys, she always looks so stern. But when she's sleeping, her expression is softer, you could say. She lets her hair down too. And I think it's kind of prettier that way.
So that's what he likes. Well, keep an eye on her, but
But?
watch out for the older girls.
Huh? Teresa and Oscar sure seem close.
I've known them since I was an initiate, but I've never seen them quarrel, not even once.
Did you ever fight with your brother, Velvet?
Yeah, I guess I did. Sometimes I'd chew him out, and he'd sulk and stop talking to me, but I found that adorable too.
You did?
No matter how much he dug in his heels, or tried to talk like he was in charge, after a while he'd be right there trailing along behind me.
Like a little puppy dog.
Puppies are a lot more obedient. I always had to keep an eye on him. Little brothers are odd creatures.
Rokuro's a little brother. Is he adorable too?
I don't think a little brother who's out to kill you is in any way adorable.
But Shigure seemed like he was having fun.
Sometimes you just don't make sense.
Huh? I don't know.
Little brothers.
Do you have any siblings?
I'm an only child.
Well then, that's perfect. You pretend the boy is your little brother.
Huh?
That's a bit extreme, but actually, when I'm talking with Laphicet, sometimes I think, this is what having a brother must feel like.
I could be Eleanor's brother.
Don't take any of this nonsense seriously, Laphicet. Malakim are just tools to exorcists. She can never think of you as her brother.
Oh, yeah.
You're wrong. I've changed how I view Malakim. I know that's true because I can think of him as a brother.
Right.
She's all talk. Don't believe her.
It seems to me like you're the one who's treating him as a tool, by forcing your own opinions upon him.
Ooh, two sisters struggling for the affections of their brother. Eeny teeny candlestick, which one will the Muppet pick?
How about an older brother instead?
This grimoire who we're searching for is a Moloch like Bienfu, right? To be honest, I don't see how someone so different can be a Moloch just the same as Laphicet or Aizen.
I understand your doubts. It's quite the tangly mess.
I'll tell you anything!
In that case, I've been wondering, what's underneath your hat?
Oh no! Anything but that!
So, we've hit a wall already.
But that ribbon flaps around and gets in the way, right? Could I take it off for you?
No! No! That's not possible! You mustn't remove the ribbon!
Why not?
That's another thing I can't say!
It's all cans with you. All right, is there anything you can tell me?
I could talk about what type of Malakim we are, or our position in the world of Malakim, or our abilities.
Oh, I'd like to know all that.
Then I will tell you. Listen closely. We Norman are a well-established race of Malakim. Compared to other Malakim, we aren't as adept at manipulating natural forces, but we excel at drawing out and heightening the abilities of others.
Think of them as a convenient power-up.
They're also known as common spirits.
Don't even say that! We Norman hate being called that.
Why is it so painful for you?
Because it makes people think we're average and unremarkable. That's why we work so hard to show how we're all different.
That does explain your quirky speaking mannerisms.
Don't sweat it. That's a perfectly common thing to worry about.
Don't say that!
I apologize if I'm being rude, but I have to ask. You're not Aminoch the Empyrean, are you?
Of course I'm not. What would even make you ask such a thing?
A shop in Isolt was selling Aminoch figurines that looked just like you.
Oh, that. I distinctly remember whispering to the shopkeeper in his sleep, telling him not to sell those things.
You showing up in his dreams probably only convinced him you were the real deal. You should sue for his use of your likeness and get proper compensation from that shopkeeper.
Forget it. It's no concern.
Yeah, you're right. It's not like they'd ever sell anyway.
Oh, you think a figurine of mine wouldn't sell?
You've got this whole somber ennui thing going on. A figurine needs to be cute, like me.
Then how about I turn you into a product?
Me? Really?
Oh yes. I'll have you stuffed and mounted. But since it'd be a unique piece, I'd have to price it a bit higher.
Mounted? No, count me out!
Oh, you're no fun. Now, what was it we were talking about?
Whether or not you are the Empyrean Aminoch.
Ah, yes, that's right. I'm no Empyrean. I'm just a simple girl. It would be hard for anyone to worship an Empyrean like me, right?
That's true. I mean, it just seems like you're the type who can see through anything, so perhaps an Empyrean seems less intimidating from a certain point of view.
You're saying I'm scarier than an Empyrean?
Not scarier exactly, just more of a savvy sort of woman.
That's not a bad answer, but it won't get you out of the doghouse.
From what we heard in Isolt, demons are attacking villages, and more people are growing upset with the Abbey. So I hadn't expected things in Haria village to be so laid back.
They might be on their best behavior because you're accompanied by an exorcist.
I didn't know you could see the world in more than just black and white.
The Abbey wouldn't entrust my responsibilities to someone who couldn't see beyond the surface. I have seen many things in my work. I've beheld both the light and the darkness in the world of men. Despite that, no, because of that, I won't turn away from the wrongs that I encounter. Moreover, I have faith. I believe there is good in all our souls.
The darkness, huh?
Yes, like you.
You're awfully direct.
Velvet keeps picking on Madame Eleanor. They're total opposites, so I know they're just gonna clash sometimes, but Velvet takes it too far.
You really think they're totally opposite?
If Madame Eleanor is a white lily, then Velvet is a black rose. If Madame Eleanor is a soaring Pegasus, then Velvet is a wolf in the shadows. If Madame Eleanor is a plate of spaghetti carbonara, Velvet is squidding noodles with seaweed.
I don't follow you completely, but I think I get the point.
I'm sure you understand. The two have nothing at all in common. And since they don't share anything in common, some fighting now and then just can't be helped.
Well, they both have beautiful hair.
Okay, but we're talking a noble exorcist and an aloof demon.
Eleanor sometimes treats you coldly, and Velvet has helped me more times than I can count.
Madame Eleanor gives herself fully to the salvation of others, but Velvet is bent solely on revenge.
That means they're both motivated by thoughts of others.
How is the cheerful and talkative Madame Eleanor at all the same as the brooding, taciturn Velvet?
Both of them talk to me when it's just the two of us together.
You're just trying to be contrary.
I'm only telling you what I've experienced.
Actually, I feel that Madame Eleanor isn't really reaching out to me.
It's all right if Eleanor doesn't want to talk to you. I'm here for you, Bienfu. You aren't alone.
That just makes me feel lonelier. Bien.
You two are opposites yourselves.
Huh? Wow, look outside! It's the ocean!
This was a place of worship for Amenoch, the Water Empyrean. The ancients built this sanctuary underwater for the same reason that Eumasia's temples were built underground.
But building this underwater couldn't have been easy.
Aye. With the Earth temples, all they had to do was keep digging. Here, they had water to contend with.
How did they do it? You can't split the sea like you can a log.
They started by stacking giant stone blocks in the shallows, creating an enclosed space. Then they drained the water and expanded the enclosure. Once they had done that enough times and secured enough dry space, they were able to dig into the sea floor.
It's mind-boggling, isn't it?
The humans believed that by going through such great hardships to build these temples, they could show the depth of their devotion.
Additionally, current research suggests the site of this temple once sat on the seacoast.
What? Are you saying I'm wrong?
No, I'm only reporting what I've read in academic journals.
How would coastal ruins sink into the ocean?
When the Empyreans began their slumber, the land shifted, and this temple was swallowed by the sea. Scholars were able to prove that the sand and the heavy stones formed an airtight seal around the structure. Later, people carved an undersea tunnel to connect to the temple, bringing it to its current state.
Now that you mention it, I think I read that book too. Revised Theories on Ancient Architecture, right?
That's the one. Have you read it, Aizen?
No, I only read the first edition.
The problem with the stone enclosure theory is that each time you expand the enclosure, the innermost stones have to be carried out. Once that was pointed out as being too inefficient, alternate theories were developed. The revised edition has a number of competing theories. I highly recommend reading it.
I will then.
So, wait, was that a complete rebuttal of Aizen's explanation?
That was not my intention.
It's okay. Archaeology is a continuous process of asking new questions and making new discoveries. Prevailing theories change all the time.
What's it matter anyway? Let's just get going. There's no Empyrean here, right, Aizen?
If you're worried about it, why not flip that coin of his? Heads, no Empyrean. Tails, Empyrean Central.
But it always comes up tails.
Like I said before, these temples are nothing more than places of worship built by human hands. The current religion started when humans, fearful of natural forces, began to worship four gods they called the Empyreans. If you're concerned about whether or not one is sleeping in these ruins, just remember that their very existence is only legend.
Be that as it may, Inominat certainly exists.
Aye. But I've never heard a single story of anyone actually seeing an Empyrean. Inominat must be a special case then.
Must be.
I suppose so. If there were four more like him, and they were all trying to stop us, we'd be sunk.
I can't disagree.
That demon. I guess she caught demon blight when she was looking for her daughter.
Yeah, that's what the girl at the inn said.
But even after turning into a demon, she's still searching for her daughter. Well, Rokuro, Kurogane, and Dial all remember what they wanted when they were human, right? Demon or not, she's a mother. It's no surprise she would still be protective of her child.
It could be that. Or it could be something else.
Well, I hope that's what it is.
I know that must be how she felt as a human. But demons don't have a sense of motherhood or any such thing. You saw how violent she was. She's not Mahina anymore. When she became a demon, she lost all capacity for empathy and love. It's heartbreaking, but it's the truth.
Velvet and Rokuro still have empathy.
One demon left unchecked could take 100 lives. And this one's even willing to attack exorcists. Demons can wipe out entire villages, even cities, just as they destroyed my village. Thus, my path is clear.
Eleanor is right. There's no turning back once you've changed. Perhaps it would be a mercy to grant her peace through death. Is Innominat really an Empyrean?
What makes you ask that all of a sudden?
Well, according to the song Grimm deciphered, Innominat is an 8-headed dragon, right? The Empyreans are supposed to be these holy beings, but using Therians to feed on malevolence sounds more sinister than divine to me.
You've got a point there. Empyreans are a type of Malachim, and that doesn't seem like any Malach we've seen. And even less so when we're talking an 8-headed dragon.
Is it so far-fetched?
What do you think will happen if the Therians come together in one place?
Well, it wouldn't be good. My guess is they'd merge together into a giant, horrific monster. The mighty beast will attack us with its 8 long, snake-like necks and 8 heads spitting hellfire!
I can see your worry.
Right? And that's 8 heads with only 6 of us to take them on. It'd be more than we could handle.
I'd have to conjure up a double or two.
You can do that?
Of course not.
Then why mention it?
Oh!
What is it, Laphicet?
Do you think each head would act of its own free will? Because if they do, they'd be uncoordinated, bumping into each other and going this way and that, giving us an opening. If we fight as one united whole, I know we can win.
Yes! If we work hand in hand, victory is ours. Right, everyone? Huh?
Us united? Have you looked at us recently?
Well, I mean, maybe.